Well, it didn't take WWE all that long to eliminate the brand exclusive pay-per-views. As we all woke up on Saturday morning, if you checked your email, WWE sent this little piece out confirming that there will be no more brand exclusive pay-per-view events. Both Raw and SmackDown Live will now be combining for a dual branded event once a month. This is the piece that they sent out to everybody via the email. More of what you want. What I want is quality television. What I want is a company that's going to embrace the brand split instead of being lazy with it. And they have been lazy with it ever since we turned the corner for 2017. It hasn't really been the same. WWE just doesn't care. More of what you want. After WrestleMania, you'll get the best of both brands. Raw and SmackDown every month on every pay-per-view. I don't like it. I don't like it. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about combining the pay-per-views. We talked about ending the brand split and how I think it's wrong. We talked about how we should revitalize both women's divisions and tag team divisions on both brands, and we came up with solutions for both. WWE now has a new pay-per-view schedule for the rest of the year. And following WrestleMania 34 on April 8th, we're going right into Backlash on May 6th, Money in the Bank on June 17th, Extreme Rules on July 15th, SummerSlam on August 19th, Hell in a Cell on September 16th, TLC on October 21st, Survivor Series on November 18th, and WWE Clash of Champions December 16, 2018. The only pay-per-view on this entire schedule that makes any sense for a dual-branded pay-per-view is Clash of Champions. If WWE still has all these titles at the end of the year, it makes for a better Clash of Champions, because realistically, Clash of Champions should be a pay-per-view in which every title is defended. So that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Clash of Champions will see 4 hours of all championship matches. That's the only thing that makes sense to me on this entire pay-per-view schedule. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. Can the brand split still work under this new pay-per-view schedule? Yes, it can. Do you expect WWE to embrace it any more than they have? Of course not. Of course not. We're only going to see the negative with this pay-per-view change. We're not going to see the positive, because there really is no positive. There is no positive for this change. Do you know what this does? And I don't want to repeat myself again, but I feel like I have to, because this is news. This eliminates WWE's mid-card. You're only going to get main event talent. WWE doesn't have the mindset to take care of mid-card talent. They're only going to push the top-of-the-line guys because they need to sell these pay-per-views. And that's the reason why they're going to this new change. What's going to happen to the mid-card? What's going to happen to the guy who is on the up and up? Or the guy who wants to move from the lower level to the mid-level? They're not going to get featured. And if they do, they're going to get featured on a pre-show that has absolutely nothing to do with the pay-per-view itself. No matter how much they tell you, well, the pre-show is the pay-per-view. No, it's not. No, it's not. Tell that to Neville and Austin Aries at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight Championship. Were they featured on the actual DVD? No. They weren't. When you're going to watch WrestleMania and see that match, or want to see that match, it's not on the main show. You got to look for the pre-show to find that match. Are those guys, is that match listed on the DVD box when you go to Kmart or Walmart or Target and buy WrestleMania 33? No, it's not. So it's not part of the main show. No matter how much Road Dogg wants to say it doesn't mean anything. That's why we had the Usos come out and complain about putting on the match of the night at SummerSlam with the New Day, and they fought in front of nobody. These guys don't work to get on the pre-show. They work to be a part of the main pay-per-view show. This does not do anything positive for the current roster right now. And with more talent coming up from NXT in the next couple of months, what is that going to do to the guys who are already there not getting their spot? What is that going to do to those guys who haven't even been given an opportunity to have a spot on television? It's going to push them further down the line. I don't like this change at all. This is WWE's own fault. This is their lack of vision, their lack of creative writing, their lack of storytelling, their lack of care. And it pisses me off that I got to talk about this again. Nobody's really taking into consideration that with the brand split, we had Rumble, Mania, this year Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Those 5 pay-per-views out of the year were a reason to get excited because both brands were going to be represented on that show or on those shows. So now you're taking away the intrigue that those pay-per-views brought with it during this brand split. That level of excitement is now taken away from those shows. Now every show is going to be featuring Raw and SmackDown superstars instead of us waiting for a major event. Because you need to sell tickets to these events by featuring top-tier talent. Well, if you actually cared about your fucking roster and the development of your characters and superstars, well, if you didn't give a shit about these guys then, what makes you think they're going to care about them now by adding another hour to these shows? They're not. This is your own fault. This is what you get when you put all your eggs in one basket, pushing the Cenas and the Romans and the Ortons and forgetting about everybody else. You got one legit guy on this entire fucking roster, John Cena, who sells tickets. And everybody else is, I don't care if I see him. I don't care if I don't. This is your fault. You built an entire fucking roster for John Cena to sell tickets and to headline for the last 14 years. And now you're doing the same thing with Roman. You're putting all your eggs in one basket and you're not really utilizing everybody else. You're not showing care. You're not utilizing mid-card talent to get them to that level. This is what happens when you have one guy and a bunch of nobodies. Nobody's coming out to see everybody else. That's your job to get them to that level. Then you want to cite poor ticket sales. If you ain't putting the people on the field, if you're not building a team people want to see, people will not come. If you're a last place team in the NL East, and I had to deal with that for the last fucking God knows how many years. If you're not putting a team on the field that people will willingly pay money to see, then nobody's going to come out. WWE is not putting people on the field that people want to see and willingly pay money to see. Now you got to combine the rosters for these pay-per-view shows just to fucking make yourself feel good? This band-aid of a solution? Come on, man. Absolutely ridiculous. And you guys know that I'm not speaking out of my... You guys know that I make sense in this argument. There is more negative to this than there is positive. I don't like it. I just don't like it. That they officially announced dual-branded pay-per-views and they dropped 2 events. They dropped Battleground and they dropped Payback. After last year, good riddance for Battleground. The brand-exclusive pay-per-views could have worked. There's more than enough talent to fill a brand-exclusive pay-per-view. You need to show care and nurture character development and get those guys who aren't featured on TV to a level where people will pay to see them. This is the great thing about a brand split. That's exciting to me, to see someone who hasn't been given an opportunity be given an opportunity and to see what he does with it. Now, we're not going to see those guys get an opportunity. We're not going to see those guys mature. And we're not going to see WWE nurture them into getting them to the next level. Now we're going to be stuck seeing the people that we don't want to see every single week. I don't like it. I don't like it. You guys know I make sense, man. I don't come on here and spit bullshit. I don't come on here and talk out of my ass. I don't think this is a good idea. I don't see how this is a good idea. WWE is thinking ticket sales, money, how do we get people in the seats? They should be looking at themselves in the fucking mirror. Why has this brand split failed? Why do our shows, Monday and Tuesday, suck? Why aren't people coming to see SmackDown Live? Why aren't people coming to see these pay-per-view events? This is not the answer. This is a cheap Band-Aid. I ain't talking about Johnson & Johnson Band-Aids. This is a fucking cheap imitation Band-Aid that's gonna fall off at the slightest fucking movement. You're putting a cheap Band-Aid on a wound that has been gushing blood for the last 2 years. It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna stop the bleeding. It's not. And then when we get to Extreme Rules, and then when we get to Hell in a Cell, and we see the top of the fucking card and the rest of the show filled with talent that is, you know, in main event spots where they don't deserve to be. We're going to see the Cenas and the Reigns and the Strowmans and this and that, and we're going to see the top tier talent from both shows fill out these cards, and the little guy, the mid-card guy, is not going to get their opportunity. I want to see people then fucking complain. I want you to think back to this very video when we get to the end of the year. Well, JD was right. This really isn't working. We're going to be in the same situation at the end of the year, just like we're in now. Nothing will change. I'm not saying the brand split is dead because of this, but I don't have any faith in WWE to make it right. It's been lazy. They haven't embraced it. They haven't had fun with it. This is not the answer. Ending the brand exclusive pay-per-views and making all these shows an hour longer is not the answer. Are you going to take care of the little guy? Are you going to create new talent that's on the up and up for WWE? Or are we going to see the same fucking shit month in and month out? It's not the answer. This is nothing but a cheap Band-Aid on a huge wound that WWE just will not admit is a failure. And I'm tired of talking about it. This is not the right way to go about it. And I didn't want to start the show off this Saturday with bitching and moaning and complaining, but this is the biggest thing that we woke up to this morning. They made it official. They made it official. WWE officially announces dual-branded pay-per-views and drops to events. The brand-exclusive pay-per-views are no more. I don't think I'm going to be talking about it anymore. Let's see how it takes shape. But I know everything that I said here is factual information. And it's definitely a concern on many people's minds. Many. I got news on Dolph Ziggler. I got news on Rollins and Angle for WrestleMania. I got news on Jeff Jarrett possibly being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I got news on Jason Jordan and why WWE pulled him for WrestleMania. and the latest on Dean Ambrose and his in-ring return. All this today right here on part 2 of episode 209 of Off the Script. Yesterday we seen the John Cena-esque virgin that I included into the podcast on his rant about how John Cena is the greatest WWE superstar in the history of superstars and how he is so great because he's slayed giants like Kane, Big Show, and the great Khali. Yeah, that guy. We held a poll. And I asked in yesterday's video, if you guys missed Off the Script yesterday, you guys can look in the annotation. There'll be a little YouTube card. You're going to hit that exclamation point. It's going to drop down. You're going to see all the shows that you might have missed. Off the Script will be there for yesterday. Go and check it out if you didn't get it. I asked, is that John Cena dude a virgin? And I expected 100% to say yes. Slightly disappointed in those who did not give me a genuine answer. Because I don't know how 12% of you think that this guy has ever seen or touched a pair of tits. I don't know. 87% of you agree that he is a virgin. 12% of you think that this guy has had pussy in his life. I don't think so. I am going to massively disagree with the 12% of you who voted no. There's no way. He might be the new mascot of Off the Script. I'm going to try and reach out to him. I want to see if I can get another rant on him. Or rant from him. So that he can entertain us with his sheer stupidity. So thank you for all who took part in the polling. Greatly appreciate your answers. I just don't know how 12% of you think that this guy has tasted pussy in his entire life. I don't know, man. One of those unsolved mysteries that we may never find the real answer to. There you go. This is Off the Script, episode 209, part number 2 for your Saturday, February 17th, 2018. I want to thank everybody for showing your support to the show, whether you're watching it on YouTube, whether you're watching it on Twitch. Yes, we are on Twitch. This is a podcast that is being featured on Twitch. It might go up a few hours later, and you might have already seen it, but for those who are on Twitch, you guys can watch it on there because they have an uploading service in which I can premiere Off the Script anytime I want. So if you guys are on Twitch, please make sure you guys follow the Twitch channel. Thank you so very much. But if you guys are listening on YouTube, thank you for all your support. We hit 88,000 subscribers yesterday. We are on our way to hopefully 90 before WrestleMania. I want to thank everybody who listens to the podcast on Podbean, iTunes. We are also on Stitcher, Audio Boom. I am about to submit an application to get us on Spotify, so I hope that works out. I know a lot of you listen to Spotify. I know I love my Spotify subscription. I pay for it every single month. I think it's great. So I'm trying to get on Spotify. I know a lot of you guys listen to Spotify as well. What better way to listen to Spotify? And then JD being on Spotify. So I would love to see Off the Script as one of the wrestling podcasts that are on there. I want to congratulate Jason Solomonster for getting on Spotify. Labar is on there as well, my good friend Justin Labar. Both of them are on Spotify. I'm going to try and follow suit and get the podcast approved for Spotify sooner rather than later. But if you guys are on iTunes as well, I don't really push the iTunes podcast, being that YouTube is my main priority. If you guys are listening on iTunes, I would greatly appreciate your feedback. Leave a 5-star rating. We are a 5-star rated podcast. I love to hear your feedback on there. I don't know what iTunes does as far as rankings go, but it only helps out the podcast when you guys leave a comment and you guys leave a rating. So if you guys are on iTunes, I would greatly appreciate it. I don't ask much of you. Please leave a 5-star rating on there and let me know what you guys love about the show, how you guys enjoy the show, what you want to see to make the show better. I always read that type of shit, so if you guys are on iTunes, I would greatly appreciate that. And we're on Podbean as well, so you guys can listen on various different platforms. Off the Script is available in many different ways. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. You guys know the deal. I want to thank everybody who has taken part in the Harry's trial set. We did a little unboxing on yesterday's show. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring or being a part of the team and helping Harry's out and helping the podcast out. They are signed on for the rest of the year. Harrys.com/script. You're going to get a free trial shave set. And then when you get this thing and when you use this shave set, you're not going to use anything else ever again. Believe me, I have had multiple people come and tell me, JD, this was an amazing product. I'm not going to use anything else ever again. I'm sticking with Harry's. Believe me. If I'm using it, and I've been using it for 4 months, and I put my name to it, you guys know it's going to be a quality product. You're going to get a razor handle, a razor blade protective case, and the shave gel, which is right here. I showed everything off in the video yesterday. You guys are going to get all that for free. All you have to do is pay shipping and handling. It's going to be delivered immediately to your house. You're going to use it. You're going to love it. Believe me. Harrys.com/script. That's a great way to support the show and support a great product as well. Also, Audible is still offering you guys 1 month free of their service, and that includes 1 free audio book of your choice. audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys already signed up, you can't really sign up again, but this is for new listeners, and I do have a bunch of new listeners. If you guys want to support the show, get something for free. You guys got iPhones or Android devices. You guys can download the Audible app. You guys can listen to your free audiobook immediately. And if you've already signed up, I'm sure you got people in your house, people in your family, girlfriends. You guys got wives. You guys got kids. You guys got parents who want to sit down and enjoy a nice audiobook. You guys can do that. Give the link to them, man. Share the link of Audible with your family. audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys want your t-shirts, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript as well. We got some of the best looking t-shirts in the podcast community. Everybody knows that. As you guys can see there, those are some of the designs. We got the new Benched t-shirt, Eat, Sleep, Bench, Repeat. And we got the new Jinder Failure Raha t-shirt right there, as it's a take on the classic Ghostbusters design. Audible Trial and Barbershop Window and Harry's. You guys got a bunch of different ways to support the podcast, man. This is barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. If you guys want to support the podcast through Patreon, patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. Let's get into the news of the day, man. I don't have a lot, and I'm really struggling to get news for tomorrow. It might be a short episode today, and I might save the rest for tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I'm feeling. Got a little bit of a head cold. So I'm not feeling my absolute best right now as far as, me being sick and all. But we're going to start off with this story, man. Dolph Ziggler. You guys know Dolph Ziggler. You guys know how WWE's dropped the ball with Dolph Ziggler. You guys know how he walked out of the company. How WWE seemingly always doesn't have any plans for Dolph Ziggler. Yet they signed him to a new $1.5 million. $1.5 million. Can I do the laugh? Dr. fucking Evil. I was watching fucking Austin Powers the other night, man. Part 2 is so underrated. I heard a lot of people don't like Part 2, man, but Part 2, though not better than Part 1, which is absolutely hilarious. I mean, who doesn't love Fat Bastard? I mean, it's one of the best characters in the Austin Powers trilogy. I'm still waiting for them to make another one. I don't even know how well it would be received, but they did leave the door open for a fourth one. I'm hoping we do see it eventually. But, yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about that. It was on the other night, and I just ended up watching it because, late at night, you're drinking a fucking hot tea, and you're relaxing, and then you see Fat Bastard come on, talking about how he wants his baby back ribs, and you got fucking Mini-Me, there running away from him. It's hard to turn the channel, man. Dolph Ziggler, $1.5 million a year under his new WWE contract. What's going on with Dolph Ziggler in the WWE right now? Dolph Ziggler took a month-long sabbatical from WWE after winning the United States title in late 2017, but he returned as the 30th entrant in the 2018 Royal Rumble, and it was a waste of a spot. Not only did WWE kill Dolph Ziggler's momentum even more and kill the storyline and make it illogical even further, they ruined the 30th entrant in the Royal Rumble. People look to that 30th entrant as, who's it going to be? It's going to be the big surprise. Who is it? Is it going to be a major debut? Out comes Dolph Ziggler. Comes to the ring, eliminated in 90 seconds. It's a waste of an entrant. He shouldn't have even been in the Royal Rumble. Don't even know why they wasted it. Dolph Ziggler's 37 years old. Didn't make too much of a splash in the Royal Rumble. And then he was off the SmackDown Live show that followed the Royal Rumble. There was no explanation as to why he came back. No explanation as to why he gave up the United States Championship. However, he was given a shot at entering the Fastlane main event. And he fought Sami Zayn in a great main event on SmackDown Live. And now he's going to be joining Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, and Baron Corbin in a fatal five-way for the WWE Championship at Fastlane in March. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn prevented that match from happening, but Corbin and Ziggler would end up facing Owens and Zayn in a singles match, respectively, to earn their spot, with both men winning, of course. We actually talked about this yesterday on Off the Script, why WWE is doing so many multi-man main events on the road to WrestleMania. It's because WWE wants to give you the perception of things being a little bit unpredictable when they really aren't. I mentioned yesterday that Roman Reigns winning the Elimination Chamber is pretty much set in stone. I don't think WWE is going to stray from those plans. That's been brewing for years now. That's been the plan for years. You know, Vince McMahon has a fucking 7-day, 24-hour-a-day hard-on for Roman Reigns on this road to WrestleMania. You think he's going to go soft on the road to WrestleMania and not have Roman in the main event? Come on. The only thing that I could see WWE doing is, being that they signed Dolph Ziggler to a $1.5 million contract, is actually put this guy in the main event. This puts him in John Cena level-esque salary for a WWE superstar who is on the roster. That's ridiculous. If you're signing this guy to be the third highest paid performer in the company, full-time, you obviously have to have plans for him. And this is what worries me. The fact that they signed this guy to a $1.5 million contract, it makes me wonder if WWE is going to give him the title at Fastlane because of this contract, have him go into WrestleMania, have AJ invoke his rematch clause, and give us another multi-man match at WrestleMania, crushing all of our dreams to see Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And we went over that, and we went over how awful that would be. Because WrestleMania is the showcase of the Immortals. There hasn't been a WrestleMania-esque main event that really has captured what WrestleMania is all about. To me, WrestleMania is AJ versus Nakamura. That is WrestleMania to me. 30 minutes, two guys fighting over the biggest prize in this industry. That's WrestleMania to me. Adding Dolph Ziggler into that mix, it doesn't fit. He doesn't belong there. He doesn't deserve to be there at all, no matter how hard the guy has worked. WWE has downplayed Dolph Ziggler for years, and now I'm supposed to believe he should be in the main event of WrestleMania? And I mentioned this yesterday, and I compared it to me going out drinking a fucking beer. You know, I order a Three Philosophers from Omegang Brewery, which is my favorite beer. Then I order a Guinness. And that would be like, you know, Nakamura would be the Guinness, and AJ would be the Three Philosophers. And then here comes Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, barkeep, I'll have a Budweiser. What? You just had these two delicious beers, and now you're ordering a Budweiser? Come on, bro. No, you got to keep the good beer coming. You can't come and have a Budweiser enter the lineup. It's not good. It's not a good look for you. It's not good on your fucking lips either. Because Budweiser's shit. All these commercial beers are shit. And Dolph Ziggler's a commercial beer. You know? WWE could have easily made him into a beautiful, fucking, delicious beer, but they didn't. They have Dolph Ziggler here, and he's nothing but a sour, fucking, bitter-tasting beer. That's all he is. And then they want to put this guy into the rotation of top-tier talent. No, it's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. Owens and Zayn prevented this match from happening at the start of SmackDown Live, but Corbin and Ziggler were supposed to fight. They didn't because of Owens and Zayn. So they each individually had singles matches against Owens and Zayn. And they earned their spot by beating both of these guys respectively. So Ziggler has gone from off TV to number 30 in the Royal Rumble and now is in the main event of a pay-per-view for the WWE Championship with the opportunity to headline WrestleMania. Why? Now, it's quite common news that the two-time world champion has signed a new contract with the company. But according to Justin Barrasso of SportsIllustrated.com, now we know how much he's earning. Ziggler is making $1.5 million per year, and that means only Brock Lesnar and John Cena earn more than him as a base salary. I think we should be worried about the Fastlane main event. If Dolph Ziggler is in Brock Lesnar and John Cena territory as far as money-wise, salary-wise, I think WWE needs to fulfill their reason as to why they signed this guy for so much money. As far as a full-time performer goes, he's the highest paid in the WWE. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I don't understand why WWE seen a reason or has a reason to give this guy so much money if they're not using him or they haven't used him. I can't figure this one out. That is crazy, considering how WWE's used him for the last 5 years. But as far as talent and tenure go, Dolph's been there for...
I found something on the web for how WWE stand for the last 5.
Are you fucking serious? My phone literally just activated Siri on its own. You guys heard that. I didn't even touch my phone. That is ridiculous. I feel like I have a fucking ghost in here turning my phone on and activating Siri. I didn't even touch my phone. And it's talking about WWE. Jesus Christ. I lost my train of thought. Dolph Ziggler being there, he's got the longevity and he's got the talent. But does that warrant a $1.5 million contract to have him the highest paid in the WWE? You know, you could say he deserves the money based on his in-ring work. But from what we've seen and gathered from Dolph Ziggler on WWE television, does he really deserve that type of money? Is WWE going to invest this money in Dolph Ziggler? And are they going to utilize him the way that he should have been utilized all this time? I don't think so. But keep an eye out on that Fastlane main event. You know, WWE wants to keep things unpredictable. There's a good shot at Dolph Ziggler walking out of that match the WWE champion. Now, it's also worth noting that when you take into account bonuses from pay-per-views and things of that nature, Ziggler would just miss out on the top 10 performers in the company with his $1.5 million. Lesnar earned $12 million, just shy of the $10 million more than his base salary. The company apparently values his ability to make stars and put people over, and that's exactly what they are paying him to do. So he's the highest paid jobber in WWE. Furthermore, Ziggler can take breaks to pursue his comedic career whenever he pleases, per reports. However, speaking to Edge and Christian on their Pod of Awesomeness, he said he didn't enjoy that position in the company, saying, "I hate it." And those were his exact words. Money is a huge determining factor. He may hate it, but he doesn't hate money. That's why he took the $1.5 million. He also said, "But I'm also someone who, I hate that I'm not the champion. I hate that the show is not about me, because that's the mentality you should have if you're in this business. But if you're the, hey, I want to be the opening guy who works for 10 years and saves a bunch of money guy, that's great. But there's 1,000 other guys in the back that say, I want to be the best. I want to main event WrestleMania. I want the show to be about me." It doesn't make much sense for him to resign to a role that isn't likely to change, even if the money is that lucrative. I don't understand this. I hope WWE uses Dolph Ziggler in a prominent role, but have it happen after WrestleMania. This WrestleMania should be about Styles and Nakamura, and it shouldn't be infiltrated by anybody else, no matter how much money they're making. But the door is open for them to make it unpredictable. Keep an eye out for that. We may see Dolph Ziggler walk out of Fastlane with the WWE Championship. I just don't agree by giving this guy $1.5 million, and him just being used the same way we've seen him. That's not really a good investment. So either WWE has major plans for this guy, or he is the biggest, highest paid jobber in the history of WWE. Only time will tell. Jeff Jarrett. Will he be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? Reports can go all over the place, and you never know what is factual at times due to contradictions, as well as the never-ending rumors and innuendo. This includes recent rumors of a possible WWE Hall of Fame induction for Double J, Jeff Jarrett. The Wrestling Observer newsletter says that there was a list of possible inductees going around, including names for 2018. While not confirmed, The word was that Jeff Jarrett was on the list. Keep in mind, nothing is set in stone regarding the WWE Hall of Fame until Vince McMahon makes a decision, because ultimately it's up to him. But there is still a possibility about Jarrett getting an induction in 2018. Since Jarrett's recent departure from Impact Wrestling and WWE's tendency to publicly mend fences, this could still become a reality. If Jeff Jarrett is inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, let's hope that they have Bruce Pritchard induct him so he can lead the crowd in a rendition of Alone with My Baby Tonight, because that is pretty much all we know of Jeff Jarrett in the WWE. Former Intercontinental Champion, Jeff Jarrett is not a main event guy. We all know Jeff Jarrett was never a main event guy. He tried to be a main event guy. He tried to politic himself into the main event, but he was never seen or looked at as a main event guy. He hasn't done anything in the WWE to warrant a Hall of Fame induction at all. I was never a fan of Jeff Jarrett. I thought the gimmick was cheesy. I thought his in-ring skills were average at best. Nothing that I would go out of my way to see. WWE Hall of Fame for Jeff Jarrett based on his WWE career? No. WWE Hall of Fame induction for what Jeff Jarrett has done in the wrestling industry? Yes. If it comes down to it, I think Jeff Jarrett deserves a WWE Hall of Fame induction, not because of the lack of what he did in the WWE or him being a WWE personality. I think Jeff Jarrett belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame because of his mindset for the world of professional wrestling. Jarrett has been a fighter. Jarrett has been someone who is persistent and will not go away. Jarrett has given many, many outlets, no matter how many times they really haven't come to fruition or how many times they were failed ventures. Jarrett has always given to the wrestling industry. He's always given talent an opportunity to come wrestle for him. Jarrett has always tried to have another home for the talent that was in WWE, no longer can go back to the WWE. Jarrett was always, someone who tried to have the talent find a home on the independent scene, whether it was with Impact Wrestling, Global Force Wrestling. He was always that guy to try and give back to the talent that was just floating around out there, give a home to those guys who want to make a mark for themselves on the independent scene and try to, maintain some level of relevancy. Jarrett's a fighter, and it's sad to see that he succumbed to his demons and drugs and alcohol, and WWE is now giving Jarrett a home inside their rehab facility. WWE sponsored rehab for Jeff Jarrett. I hope Jeff Jarrett comes out of this a better person. Maybe WWE sees him and making progress and definitely trying to become a better person in life from here on out, and they want to extend a WWE Hall of Fame induction for him. I don't know. I don't know what the reason would be, but I really don't have much else to say about Jeff Jarrett in the WWE Hall of Fame. Is his WWE career worthy of a Hall of Fame induction? No, but what Jeff Jarrett has done for the wrestling industry and how much of a fighter he has been and how he has been one of those guys that many talent on the independent circuit has seeked out to find a job with, and he's done his very best to give those talents a home and a ring to wrestle in. I think that's very, very admirable. Jarrett's passion for the wrestling industry alone deserves a Hall of Fame induction. So that's my answer for that. I hope I do see it. I hope we do see it. And I'm not sure if it's going to happen this year, but if it does, I honestly think Jeff Jarrett is deserving of a Hall of Fame induction just based on his ventures outside of WWE. It's all up to Vince McMahon, though. It's all up to Vince McMahon. Justin LaBar said it best. This is the Hall of Fame induction. No matter how many times a year we cry about who should be in, who shouldn't be in, LaBar said it best. The Hall of Fame is a wrestling event. It's like a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. You need a main event. You need a mid-card. You need a tag team. You need a woman. You need a celebrity. Those are the criteria. Those are the categories. You need a main event guy every year. You need a mid-card guy. You need a tag team. You need a woman and you need a celebrity. You know, maybe Jarrett this year is the mid-card. We don't know. We got Goldberg, right? Who's going in this year? Is Goldberg going in? I think Goldberg is the main guy. Goldberg's going in. They got the Dudleys. They got Ivory. So they got the main event, the tag team, and they got the woman. Now we need a mid-card. Jarrett could be a mid-card. Celebrity, who the fuck knows who's going to be in this year? I don't know. But it's set up that way. It's a wrestling event during WrestleMania weekend. And it's up to Vince McMahon who's going to go in or who hasn't been inducted into the Hall of Fame yet. Yes, we want to see the Owen Harts and the Chynas and this one and that one, you know. But it's all up to Vince McMahon. I hope we do see a Jeff Jarrett induction to the Hall of Fame. I think it would be well-deserving just based on what I said about what he did for the independent scene and how much of a fighter he's been. So we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Moving on here, man. WWE decided to pull Jason Jordan from WrestleMania. When was that decision made? Jason Jordan required a non-invasive outpatient procedure on his neck, and there was some real hope that he would be ready in time for WrestleMania. But Kurt Angle came out on Raw and announced that this storyline with his quote-unquote son, he wouldn't be competing at WrestleMania due to the time he needs to recover from this procedure. But it turns out they were all actual plans as of Thursday to keep Jordan around at WrestleMania so Seth Rollins could have someone to compete against on WrestleMania's stage. So as of Thursday, Jordan was still in the plans for WrestleMania. So they decided to just nix that, and they decided to get him the rest he needs to come back at full strength and keep him off of WrestleMania. Though heartbreaking for Jason Jordan, this is the right decision. You know, as of late Thursday, Jason Jordan was still hoping to wrestle Rollins at WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, he went on to say that this is probably a legitimate situation, although he also noted WWE used Rollins' own knee injury before WrestleMania last year in the build-up to his match with Triple H. However, this kind of booking decision is usually reserved for babyfaces and monsters. I got the impression that between putting Rollins in the Elimination Chamber and everything that they've changed, the direction for Rollins that we see now is pretty much concrete with Jordan not being at WrestleMania. You never know what can happen in the WWE, and although it was assumed that Jason Jordan would be able to perform by Mania this year, it looks like WWE might have devised other plans. This is a good thing. You know, WWE still has more than enough talent and several different ways that they can include Rollins in WrestleMania. You know, Jordan being off WrestleMania, though, heartbreaking for him to be in a big match situation with Seth Rollins. They probably would have been, you know, it would have been a great match. It might have been a sleeper match. I don't know how much people would have been invested in it, but it would have been a great match nonetheless. And Jordan missing WrestleMania, it has to be heartbreaking for him. It's only going to make him work harder to come back and be at WrestleMania next year when it comes to MetLife Stadium. But Rollins, you know, there are avenues for Rollins to be on WrestleMania and be in a prominent role. Like we discussed, Rollins is in the Elimination Chamber. WWE could seemingly make, though I don't want to see it, a triple threat match out of the Universal Championship. You know, Rollins has said he wants Brock Lesnar. Rollins says he wants the Universal Championship. Rollins says he wants to be the face of Monday Night Raw. You could put them in a triple threat match. Rollins, Reigns, and Lesnar. All three of those guys have unfinished business. You know, Rollins cashed in on Lesnar and made that a triple threat match at WrestleMania 31. You don't think Brock Lesnar wants some sort of revenge on Rollins for that? You know, Rollins wants the Universal Championship. I think it would actually make the match better, if you ask me. I don't want to see a Reigns versus Lesnar match again. I don't. The first time was special. The second time is just forced political garbage. I don't want to see it. Putting Rollins in that not only makes it a little bit more unpredictable, but it actually makes the match better. Because I know what the outcome is going to be, and I know how the match is going to be with Reigns and Lesnar one-on-one, and I don't want to see that at all. I'm not interested in seeing that at all. It's going to be nauseous. It's going to be nauseating to see that garbage. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns kick out of a fucking F5. Nobody wants to see Roman Reigns on the brink of defeat to come back and deliver one spear to Brock Lesnar and win the Universal Championship and coronate this guy again at WrestleMania. We don't want to see that. Putting Rollins in that actually makes a whole lot of sense. If they don't go and do that, Rollins always has the opportunity to fight Kurt Angle because it makes sense. And the storyline is easy to tell with those two. Angle stuck Rollins with his son. Rollins did not agree with it. Rollins felt like, Jordan was the weakest part of what's been going on between those two the last couple of months. Jordan is the reason that they lost the tag team championships. Jordan has made Rollins and his 2018, a bad one so far. And Rollins could take his anger and frustration out on Kurt Angle. And you could put a match between those two at WrestleMania. It makes sense. WWE wants Angle at WrestleMania. WWE would love to have Angle wrestle at WrestleMania. Rollins would be a great opponent for him, though Angle probably not in the best shape to wrestle. Got the bad knees, got the bad neck. We're not going to see the Kurt Angle of old, but any Kurt Angle that we get right now, I think would be lucky and fortunate enough to see wrestle at WrestleMania. I think that would be a match, even though not going to be what we want it to be. I think it'd still be a spectacle. It gives Rollins a big WrestleMania moment, and it gives Angle another WrestleMania match under his belt. I think it makes sense. And those are the rumors right now, that it's going to be Rollins and Kurt Angle. Rollins and Kurt Angle is actually being planned for WrestleMania 34, according to reports. Now, ever since it was announced that Angle would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame last year, fans started speculating that he would wrestle again for WWE and at WrestleMania. We all thought that his first match back was going to be at WrestleMania this year, but WWE, due to injury and illness that plagued the WWE locker room, he was forced to wrestle at TLC. So WWE used him and his services against the Shield, or with the Shield against the Miztourage. So WWE kind of facilitated that, and then they had him at Survivor Series wrestle, Raw vs. SmackDown, and a storyline with Stephanie McMahon. Those two things, those two instances actually took away from us wanting to see Angle back. We all thought it was going to happen at WrestleMania. It would have been so much better if he came back at WrestleMania, had his first match back with the WWE after all this time at WrestleMania. So the mystique of Angle wrestling kind of took a hit by featuring him in those two pay-per-views back-to-back in 2017. Angle even believes that, as he has stated his beliefs in various interviews, including one with Jonathan Coachman of ESPN after his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. However, instead of WWE booking him into a program right away, the company decided to go into a different direction, with him as they fired fellow WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley as the general manager of Monday Night Raw and replaced him with Kurt Angle. Some people believe that this was a way for Angle to pass his medical tests in order to get cleared to step back into the squared circle. Angle made his first appearance at a professional wrestling event in 1996 with his in-ring debut following in 1998. Just a little backstory there. He signed a contract with WWE the same year and participated in his first televised storyline in March 1999. Angle became a 6-time world champion, 4 reigns as WWE champion, 1 as WCW champion, and 1 as WWE's world heavyweight champion. 1-time U.S. champion, 1-time Intercontinental champion, 1-time European champion, 1-time Hardcore champion, 1-time Tag Team champion. He left WWE in 2006, returned earlier in 2017 to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, the same Twitter account, this WrestleVotes, their Twitter account reports that Angle is more likely to face Seth Rollins in a singles match at WrestleMania 34 instead of teaming up with Ronda Rousey at the biggest event of the year for WWE. That was also the rumor, that Kurt Angle was going to fight Ronda Rousey. Or not fight, team up with Ronda Rousey as they fight Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. WWE has many other opportunities to fill that role. We all know they want Dwayne Johnson. That makes the most sense. They could put Braun Strowman in there. They could use Angle. They could go many different ways with that. Shane McMahon's also been rumored to team with Ronda Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, though that probably is the least likely of them because Shane McMahon is in a storyline with Daniel Bryan, and they'll probably have their own tag team match at WrestleMania. Now, we all know WrestleMania 34 is going to be held on April 8th at the Superdome in New Orleans, and to see Kurt Angle wrestle at WrestleMania 34, I think it'd be great, especially against Seth Rollins. I think that's the one storyline here that makes the most sense. I really do. So we'll see what happens. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think that's the one that makes the most sense, and WWE can do whatever else they want with Ronda Rousey. You have other names that you can certainly plug into that role, but I think this is the best. And it makes for the most logical storyline here. It continues what we've been seeing with Rollins and Jordan. You're just substituting Angle in Jordan's spot. See what happens. Finally, guys, we are going to talk about the one opponent that I wish we were getting for Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. The one guy who I wish turned heel on Seth Rollins for a match at WrestleMania, Dean Ambrose. The latest on Dean Ambrose WWE in-ring return. Ambrose was taken out of action in the midst of chasing the Raw Tag Team Championships alongside Seth Rollins, and it was terrible timing. Of course, an injury never happens at a convenient time. Ambrose had gone a long time without a considerable hiatus due to injury, but all that damage Ambrose put on his body throughout his career finally came to a head when he was diagnosed with a torn tricep. Dean Ambrose was considered the Cal Ripken Jr. of the WWE. He was the one guy who wrestled the most matches in the entire year. He was WWE's workhorse. And those injuries all caught up to him. Ambrose was in Birmingham, Alabama over the weekend, as PW Insider noted, presumably getting an update on his recovery from doctors. Therefore, he's on his way to recovery, but it still might be a longer process than some fans would prefer. When Ambrose first had his operation in December, WWE noted that Ambrose would be out of action for 9 months. So that is still a long way to go. I thought that WWE was embellishing the 9 months, just like they did with Braun Strowman. They had Braun Strowman out for 6 months right before SummerSlam, and then he came back in 2. So I thought that this was going to be the same thing with Dean Ambrose. I thought Ambrose was diagnosed for 9, but he was going to come back in 3 or 4 and actually make WrestleMania. Apparently that's not the case. Whether or not this is an inflated recovery time from WWE remains to be seen. But Brian Alvarez noted last week on Wrestling Observer Live that aside from Braun Strowman's recent elbow procedure where WWE did inflate the numbers to make Braun Strowman look like a freaky healer like John Cena, those projected return times are usually what doctors have really told them. Whether Ambrose can come back by SummerSlam is another story because it could happen in theory. But WrestleMania 34 still looks like it's out of the cards for Dean Ambrose at this point. After all, Ambrose is scheduled for an autograph signing on WrestleMania Sunday at WWE Access, which is usually a spot reserved for those who are not going to be working WrestleMania. So I think it's time for us to get the Dean Ambrose coming back for WrestleMania out of our heads. There are other things for Rollins to do. I just hope that when Ambrose comes back, that WWE gives him the opportunity to enhance his character, shed the babyface bullshit, go heel, pick up where they eventually were going to go with Ambrose and Rollins, and have Ambrose just become that Jon Moxley type fucking heel. I want to see a lunatic fringe return to WWE. And I'm not talking about the comedic lunatic fringe that they got in Dean Ambrose right now. I want to see Dean Ambrose come back and give me the Dean Ambrose that we've seen in FCW. That's what I want to see. I hope he turns heel. I hope they pick up the plans with Rollins. I think that could be a sleeper feud for the end of 2018. And I hope Dean Ambrose comes back sooner rather than later, man. That would have been a great match. That would have been a great storyline going into WrestleMania. All the pieces were in place, and injuries happen. It just sucks that this one happened before WrestleMania. That is off the script, guys. I don't have much else at all. Hopefully I have something for you tomorrow. I'll let you guys know what's going on. But other than that, I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Please subscribe down below. Hit that bell. Turn on that bell for notifications. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Harrys.com/script. audibletrial.com/offthescript. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript for your t-shirts. patreon.com/JDFROMNY206 if you guys want to support the podcast. And if you guys are listening on iTunes, please leave me a comment and a 5-star rating. I'm getting out of here, guys. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you hopefully for part 3 tomorrow of Off the Script. I'll talk to you later.